Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast.
Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. And today we have somebody from Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Luke Slapa.
Yes, sir.
Did I say that right?
Slapa. But
Slapa.
Slapa's good.
Slapa.
Most people call me Slapa, and I just go with it. So
Awesome, man. How are you?
doing good, man. Excited.
I'm glad to have you here, brother. Tell me about you, man. Like, who are you? Where do you come from?
So from the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
Born and raised, and moved here to Houston after I graduated college.
Got it. And what part of Chicago?
So the west suburbs, Elgin, Batavia, that area.
I lived in Waukegan
Oh, really? Yeah.
for about 6 months
Okay.
when I went to boot camp. So
Okay.
I was a Navy guy, right? And I got to know everything about being in the water during wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
It's not pretty,
No, it's not fun.
especially there. And the wind. The wind was what made it worse.
Yeah.
So you graduated. Did you go to college in Illinois or?
I did. So I went to Southern Illinois University.
Okay.
It's in Carbondale. It's the very bottom of Illinois, so almost not even Illinois. 6 hours away.
Did you get a degree or?
Yeah, I did. Surprisingly, actually, school's never really been my thing. I want to say kinda, but like barely graduated high school. Really bad grades. But I did go to college. Was fortunate enough my dad paid for college, so
Right.
I went and I did graduate with a business degree that I don't use actually.
You do, but you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but you. It's not like you needed the degree to do what we do today.
Exactly.
Right. So, so you graduated college, or the university. You did 4 years, right?
Yes.
And then you say you moved to Houston.
Yeah.
Why?
Why not? I mean, I really had no reason. I've always been really independent.
Did you just open the map and said, Houston, here I go. It's not as
kinda. I mean, I didn't really have any reason to come to Houston. I know I wanted to move to Texas,
right.
and Houston was the biggest city in Texas, so that's how I kind of landed on it. I have no family or friends here when I moved.
I don't know, man. I think Dallas-Fort Worth is a big area too,
Yeah.
but yeah, the metro area. You're right. Houston is probably the most extensive one with the most people.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's funny. So my dad actually lives in Dallas now, and he did live there before I moved to Houston. And so actually, I did not want to move to Dallas to be that close to him. I think it just shows. I mean, I'm just pretty independent. I didn't want to be that close to him.
Right, and be dependent on him for
Exactly.
whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So he lives in Dallas now?
Yeah.
Okay. You go visit every now and then? Or
Yeah,
what?
definitely. A few times a year. Yeah.
Good deal, man. So, when was this? When did you come to Houston?
December 1st, 2017.
Oh, wow. That was not long
A
ago.
little over 4 years ago. Yeah.
And what did you start doing when you came here?
I found out about wholesaling before I moved down here. And
Really?
Yeah. So it was either that or I flipped cars in college. When I was in college, I flipped cars, and I was going to do that when I moved down here, but decided to pursue wholesaling real estate.
Got it. And who do you learn from?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Literally, like how to wholesale houses.
I had no idea what I was doing when I moved down here. I was actually listening more to like Bigger Pockets, and they didn't really focus on wholesaling.
No,
too much.
they're
Yeah.
broad.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
everything.
Yeah. So I was on some Bigger Pockets forums, and someone was like, send mailers to absentee owners. And so I spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of money doing that.
Mailers, yeah.
Yeah. When I moved down here, probably, I mean, it's just a really competitive list.
Did you have a system in place, like a call rail or something like that, or you put
No.
your cell phone on it?
Put my cell phone on it. Yeah. I had no idea what I was doing. And I was actually, so I only had a few $1,000s when I moved down here. And I moved in with, I found roommates on Craigslist and lived really cheap. And I had my truck and a few $1,000s. And I spent all my money within a couple months.
On mailers.
On mailers, yeah. So I started driving Uber.
Right. Okay. So you got in the Uber business, and so this is 2018 now.
Yeah.
And how long were you Ubering around for?
So I was not an instant success. I was Ubering for like the first year and a half, like almost every day. And then I did it for the next, so even like a couple years ago, I was still Ubering every now and again if I was like low on funds.
Right. Well, it's an easy way to like, hey,
Yeah.
I can pay bills like doing
Yeah,
this. So
you could jump in my car for a few hours and make $50 or whatever, you know?
right. So until 2020, you were doing Uber pretty much.
Yeah, on the side, yeah. So I would say for the first year and a half, I was doing Uber like almost full time, real estate on the side, and then finally like transitioned to close deals where I was able to.
Dude, nothing wrong with that, by the way. I encourage everybody that's got a car and a driver's license, if you're going to drive for dollars, might as well do it while you Uber.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're getting paid to do it.
Definitely.
That's what a friend of mine did, Luke Wong. And he had no need for that, trust me.
Yeah.
But he'd be like, Ricardo, I just turned on the Uber and I go driving for $1. And now he's buying freaking storage units
RV,
all over
yeah.
over the US, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like he was broke. He was just trying to get the best use of his time, which was, hey man, I can turn on Uber, I drive around, and when he told me that, I said, Luke must be broke. He was not. He was just trying to make the best use of his time.
Yeah,
So,
he seems like a smart guy.
oh, he's a pretty smart guy. Nice, great guy, by the way. I should bring him back because he's doing something completely different today than what he was doing when I interviewed him the first time.
Yeah.
Which with him we had to do 3 interviews because it was so long.
Wow.
It was like a 3-hour deal, right? But so you were doing Uber to pay bills and get some marketing dollars going, and when is it that you started kind of like catching a break? Like, how did that happen?
So I think it was like 5 months until I closed my first deal.
Okay.
And that was
So from the moment you got on Bigger Pockets until you closed on your first deal, it took 5 months.
no, I'd say from when I moved to Texas
Okay.
and started actually implementing, taking action, mailers, then that's when the time started.
Okay. And how much money did you make on your first deal?
80, it was supposed to be 12 grand, and then we renegotiated because they were going to back out, and it was 80, like 300 or something like that.
Okay.
It was a deal in Pasadena.
It happens.
Yeah.
Like we had a deal in Miami.
It still happens to me, yeah.
We had a deal in Miami actually in October actually. It's been a while already. That we were supposed to make 20.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't make like 6,000 or something like that, and it's because of a bunch of stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
There were liens, water liens, and the seller was so broke, man. They, and literally we had to give him more money than we were supposed to, so they could move out. Anyhow, it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
So you cut your first $80-some-$100 check. How do you like move from there? Like, what was the next step?
I like already thought I made it, and when I did that, I thought it was like way more money than it actually was. And so actually a couple weeks later, I closed my next deal, which was $8 grand. So those were kind of back to back.
16,000.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I do this 8-10 times. I'm good. I'm 80 grand right there,
Yeah. So those were back to back, and I thought I made it. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Like, what happened after that?
So what happened after that is, so I did those 2 deals, and then I probably didn't do a deal for like 4 months.
Why?
After, because I got comfortable. And that's kind of something that I battled for a couple years doing wholesaling, is I do a deal and like get close to broke, get comfortable, get close to broke, like get comfortable, get close to broke. And did that a bunch. It's kind of a cycle until I finally started, just like within the last year, kind of shifting my mindset and gaining more knowledge on actually like wealth and motivation.
Yeah, so you're working on yourself. You started doing
Yes,
self-development.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have consistency.
Somewhat. I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, so but you're much further ahead than 99% of the people out there, right?
Yeah.
So that's interesting, man. Self-development. Let's talk about that for a second, because that is the subject where I see most of the people struggle. They take it for granted. They don't think they need it because they think they only need the knowledge to do the business itself. And it has nothing to do with wholesaling. It can be how to run a bakery.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you find yourself on that cycle to where you're going back to being poor over and over and over again. But it's because of what's here.
Definitely.
It's not because of, the knowledge on how to run a profitable business or whatnot, right?
Yes.
And what was the, what did you do first to do the self-development? Like, what was it, a book or a seminar?
I would say first would be really diving into podcasts and making it pretty much a habit that I'm only listening to podcasts when I'm in my truck. I'm not listening to music, I'm listening to podcasts. And then it kind of rubbed off in other ways. I started, podcasts, guests would start recommending books. I'd go read those books, and, my whole mindset would finally start to change. There's one book I really resonated well with, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Oh, my God, dude. By T. Harv Eker.
Yeah. Just like right in the beginning, he talked about your financial thermostat, and I resonated with that because I knew my financial thermostat was low because I knew I could make more money, but I was holding myself back just for whatever reason. I just felt like I was just comfortable making, X instead of 10X or whatever.
Yeah.
And I knew I was capable of doing it.
Have you done the exercises on that book?
Like where you
touch
speak to yourself.
Where you touch your forehead and you look up and you say, "I have a millionaire mind."
Yeah.
It works.
Definitely.
It helps you rewire your brain.
Yeah.
Before you came in, I was having lunch with Jefferson and Giovanni. Okay, and these guys they're big. They're the real deal.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, I find out that Giovanni went through Success Resources, which used to be New Peaks, which at some point was Peaks Potential by T. Harv Eker. So that was a succession of Harv. And the reason it's interesting is because Giovanni went through the same school I went, but the way I got through that school was because I read that book.
Really?
And then one day I got an email, Success, whatever, Millionaire Mind Intensive by T. Harv Eker is going to be in town. And I was like, I got to go see that guy.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And literally, I went there. It was a pitch fest, and the guy wasn't there. So I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
But you just brought up the book and see how everything is connected, right? So awesome. That's a great book, man. I highly recommend Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, guys. If you guys haven't read it, pick it up today. Do the exercises. It works. That he talks about rewiring your brains. Yeah. How to make your subconscious mind. Think about riches and things of that nature. So you picked up that book. What was after that? What happened after that?
So I read that book. I just finished that book like probably 6 months ago.
Okay.
So not that long ago. There was previous books I read before that. The book I read before that was Atomic Habits, which was really, really good as well. Just about building good habits in your life. And they slowly pay off in big ways.
Got it. What else do you do?
For personal development.
Yeah.
So I started to meditate. So I try to meditate every day. I have a 6-week-old at home, so it's kind of hard right now.
It's a little hard.
Yeah. And then stay active. So try to go on walks every day and fitness, work out. Like your gym, I saw you there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's important, man. And I'll tell you a story. I don't know if I told a story on this podcast before, but after 2017, when we got hit up by Harvey, somewhere around 2019, or maybe 2020 during the pandemic, I forget. No, 2019. Dude, I was financially devastated. Like,
really?
Oh yeah, like I was flipping 47 houses when Harvey hit, and that thing nearly sent me to bankruptcy.
Wow.
I mean, it did. I just never filed, but that's how bad it got, right? Wow. And I remember, one day, like literally, I didn't have money for gas. Like that's how bad it got, and I lived in $1 million home.
Wow.
So think about this, right? And you have a $1 million mortgage, and you got the vehicles and all that stuff, right? So I get up in the morning, like at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not a morning guy by any means, but I guess I had so much shit going on in my subconscious mind that, Ricardo, get your ass up, time to work, you know? So I get up, and I had a gym in my house, and I just couldn't sleep anymore, man, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go upstairs and exercise. So I turned on my TV, I put Tony Robbins.
Oh, yeah.
I put on my, I believe a lot in having your hour of power, like working on yourself and all that, and creating a morning routine. And so I go upstairs, man. I actually had that one screen was in my gym, this particular screen right here.
Really?
Yeah, I put this little TV in there, and then I upgraded to a bigger one. But I think at that time I had this one. So I put it in there, and I put Tony, and I had a little Bose sound system, so I had the energy on it.
Get fired up.
And I'm freaking like pumping I'm lifting weights, I'm sweating. And then all of a sudden the door opens up, and it's my wife. And I'll never forget her face, because she just like woke up, and she's like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, what does it look like I'm doing? I'm exercising, you know? And I'm like, I got my hour of power, and my energy's up.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Like, I'm freaking going at it, right? And she's like, dude, you need to go get a job.
Wow.
We're broke. And I looked at her and I said, you're freaking crazy. I'm not going to go get a job.
Yeah.
I am not broke. I just have a financial problem right now. That's it. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And she kind of like left, and she was pissed off, right? And I kept on exercising, and that didn't bother me at all. Like, I was like, but then after I got done with it, I was like, man, I'm going to have to address this now.
Yeah.
And I went back to her and said, look, I just got a cash flow problem right now, but getting a job is never going to be able to afford you to live here. Never.
Yeah.
And she kind of like, at the time she understood, but literally I needed money. Like if it was oxygen, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what she meant. It's like, dude, go get some money as opposed to exercise. But what she didn't understand is that was part of my morning routine. Yeah. And I don't care if I'm going through hell, I'm going to stick to my morning routine. I'm going to stick to, you know, maybe I have to pick up a different book or whatever, but you have to continue to work on yourself.
Yeah.
Because not working on yourself and neglecting yourself is going to lead you around the wrong path.
Definitely.
So I'm a firm believer of morning routines. I'm a firm believer of hanging out with the right people. I believe now in masterminds more than ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I don't know if I ever said that on the podcast before. You know, it was a little deal in between my wife and I, and now I laugh at it, and she laughs at it too. She's like, yeah, you know, whatever, those days. But yeah, I'm happy that you brought that up, because, and that's probably where I want to focus, man, the most on this podcast is personal development, how personal development changed your life and your business.
Definitely.
Just told me you have a 6 week old, right?
Yeah.
So you just recently got married, or?
Yeah, last year.
Last year.
In May.
And what does your wife do?
She's a dental hygienist.
Okay.
Cleans teeth. Yeah.
Good deal. And how does she look at this wholesaling journey that you have?
She is very supportive. Yeah, she's wonderful. Yeah.
Very important, because if she wasn't supported, you probably wouldn't be here right now.
That's right. Yeah.
You would have been getting a job somewhere, or who knows. Nothing wrong with getting a job, guys, by the way.
Yeah.
The guy that came before you this morning, he has a job, and he owns 300 doors. So, yeah. So he's figured a way to do this full-time while he has a full-time job, pretty much. So, personal development is what's giving you now that consistency that you're looking for, right?
Yes, yeah.
And you're wholesaling in Texas, so it's not nationwide, but you're like...
Virtual, but just in Texas right now.
Okay.
When this podcast comes out, probably nationwide.
You'll be nationwide. Yeah. So... how does your team look like? What is it like? Is it you and a few VAs, or how does it work?
So it's me and pretty much me. I have a lead manager who I just actually hired.
Okay.
And then I have an admin VA.
Okay.
That's it. So
so you buy and sell the properties.
Yeah. So mostly wholesale.
And yeah, but you're doing acquisitions,
yes,
dispos.
Yes.
And what does your lead manager do for you?
Follows up on leads. So CRM touches all the leads that need to be touched in the CRM and follows up with the PPC leads that I've already had initial contact with that need to be followed up on.
Yeah, so that's but you still have the initial contact.
Yeah, with the PPC leads, yes.
Okay, man, how do you handle that? Because you got to get on those leads right away.
Yeah.
They're clicking on everybody's shit. When they click on yours, you're like, you're either number 2 or 3, or if you're number 1, man, if you get on the phone right away, then.
Yeah, it's crucial. Right now, so it's just me. So just do my best. I get alerted, and then I try to, whatever I'm doing, call them and, make that connection, start that rapport, see what's going on with their situation, see if I can help them out.
What happens if you get 2 leads in the same minute?
It hasn't happened yet.
It will.
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's just something that's part of business. As I scale and grow, that role, I'm sure I'll have an acquisition manager.
You know what I would do if I were you?
Yeah.
I'll train that lead manager into an acquisitions person.
Yeah. That's kind of the goal, is to transition them, but I want to start them out light and then move into the...
Bro, throw them in the wolves.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
Literally, I just picked up people in Venezuela. They've never been in this country. Their English is broken. They're blocking up deals left and right.
Wow.
It works.
Yeah.
Because they don't know any better. They don't have any preconceived notions of what's going on. They don't know whether what they're doing is good or bad. They just don't know.
Yeah.
So I just tell them, hey, this is it. Make an offer. You create a report. Of course, I train them.
Yeah. Yeah.
To go through the process, which is something you're fully capable of doing because you're already doing it yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to tell somebody to go do something you're not willing to do. You're already doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you want to scale, then you have to start empowering these people to go do those things. And you got to understand, man, it's not going to be perfect. And you got to live with the consequences. But if you don't do that, it will be impossible. Dude, I've seen some of the most talented people in the world in this business not grow because they're not willing to let go. That's simple.
Yeah.
And hell, my COO was one of them. And, unfortunately, I had to have a conversation with Shane. I love you, Shane, by the way. But Shane wanted to kind of control everything. So I was like, Shane, no, it doesn't work like that. You got to empower these guys to go do it.
Yeah.
So I'm locking up deals nationwide with people that have never been in this country.
Wow.
Their English is broken because they have an accent, and it's not that they have bad English. It's just that you can tell they're not from here.
Yeah.
But they follow a recipe. They understand create and report. And what they come to me is for validation. It's like, hey, Ricardo, like today, we have a property in South Texas that they came to me. It's like, hey, man, this guy wants $50K. The ARV is $250. I said, I don't care what it is. Lock it up. Yeah. Even if it's $100,000 rehab, because it makes sense. It's still a 70% deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, but they come for validation. And I was like, did you send the contract? Go.
Yeah.
And I told them, offer 40. Because the lady says she'll take 45 to 50. Okay, you just told me you take 45.
Exactly.
But then when her son got involved, her son was like, nah, man, it's either 50 or none. And there was a reason why there was 50, right? It's because that's how much money they put into the property when they bought it. So, but here I am training guys overseas. Before, and for those of you that are watching this, outside of this office, there is a bullpen. That was full of tables like that, like those tables that go up and down.
Cubicles,
and I didn't have cubicles. I don't like the cubicles, but we had those tables all over the place. And there were people buying and selling properties.
Wow.
What I find out is that people overseas are actually more committed to this than people locally.
Probably more drive.
They got more drive.
They're lazy here, aren't
they
they?
have the need.
Yeah.
They really need it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be an entrepreneur. That's another one. They're okay working for you, So, yeah, I empower you, man, to go and start taking that, because that's what's going to allow you to grow.
Definitely.
Big. Okay, so let's talk about deal flow. You told me on when we were chatting last week that you're only doing 3 to 4 deals or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of deals, man. Yeah, you hear of all these people doing 10 deals, 20 deals, 30 deals. Okay, let's talk about deal flow.
Okay.
When you hear about these guys doing 30 deals a month, right?
Yeah.
ask them for their 30 huts. You want to see 30 huts. Because I think the only people that do that kind of shit is New Western and, what do you call it? Net worth.
Yeah.
And maybe like a Keegley type. And then there's some guys out there that they're very experienced and they have massive operations and they have a lot of closings. But a guy that locks up 30 deals, he's not closing on 30 deals. He's probably closing on 15 to 20. If he has a high closing rate.
Yeah.
Most guys are closing in between 5 to 15. That's kind of like, but you got 30 that month.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
And I tell that based on my own experience and based on a lot of the other guys' experience because we all talk to each other. And, yeah, you see these guys on YouTube and Facebook, you know, I do that 500,000 deals a year. Okay, show me the HUDs, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about Steve Trang on his podcast is like he requires HUDs for people to. I don't do it because my target is different. You know, I don't. It's more based on how I feel about the person, more about how I feel about the deal flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I just want to empower people to see Luke and say, well, if Luke can do it, I can do it too.
Definitely.
Right? This is not rocket science.
No.
But so to do 3 to 4 deals a month, what does that look like for you? Like work-wise, like how many, like how's your ad spend? How do you have it organized?
Yeah, so right now I'm just doing Google PPC.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of Facebook ad spend that I put towards Facebook, but it's pretty much just Google PPC. And so that's $6,000 a month. And so that gets me like 70 to 80 leads. And then I close, or I get under contract, anywhere from like 2 to 5, I'd say a month from those leads.
Okay. That's good. That's $50,000 in potential assignments, right? If you do $10,000 a piece, which is the average standard assignment in the U.S., right? Some guys got. If you go to California, then you're looking at $50,000 to $100,000 assignments. That's normal.
Yeah.
So you got your PPC leads, and then they come to your lead. They come to you first.
Come to me. Yeah.
You are the lead manager.
Yeah.
You just have a follow-up manager. That's different.
Yeah.
So it comes to you as the lead manager. Then you talk to the seller, and you qualify them in a bucket.
Yes.
And then you send them to your follow-up manager. And then what? You finish the negotiation when the follow-up manager says, yeah, this person is ready or what?
Yeah, so if they're hot, I just stick with them.
Right.
Or even if they're like warm. If they're not ready, then I just put them in a follow-up system. Yeah, that my lead manager or follow-up manager follow up with.
Then you lock it up, then you turn around and sell it.
Yep.
And how are you selling? Are you on Investor Lift?
No, I'm not.
So how are you selling in other markets? Through Facebook or?
So I kind of have a strategy I do myself for dispositions where I'll pull a list of all the local landlords in the area.
Yeah.
And then I'll just cold call them and talk to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, you're doing a lot of work.
Yeah. Dispositions takes a long time. But I found I've got it down pretty good. And the buyers that I have that I do get doing this method, just the local guys, they're willing to pay a lot more than I found that if I put it on like a Facebook group or something, it just never ends well.
Snakes.
Yeah.
All these snakes come out of the woodworks. Yeah. No, you're doing the right thing. But I think you're just overworking yourself right now.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work because so I love guys like you, by the way, because to me you're one of my clients. I'll be like, dude, why are you doing this post? Like, focus on getting more contracts. Give me all your contracts. Let's JV 50-50. And they say, yeah, let's do it because they don't see how they can scale. Now, in your case, you want to scale. That's why you're paying for PPC. You're doing certain things, right?
Yes.
But not everybody wants to scale. Like, I got a lot of friends that are like, dude, I'm okay the way I'd rather JV with you and use your team as opposed to me building a team because building a team is another animal.
Yeah.
And we all kind of like recycle our teams every now and then. But yeah, you are what I call an orphan because you're by yourself.
Yeah.
You're doing everything. You're wearing all the hats.
Oh yeah.
And you're negotiating the deal, but you're also selling the deal. It's great money, by the way, because you're keeping most of the money.
Yeah.
But you're in a rat race.
Yeah, I know it.
The day you stop, that's it.
Yeah.
Everything stops. But it's good because I think in your case, there's a lot more people that will relate more to you than they do to me. Why is that? Because most likely they're going to become you before they come over to this side, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes you to do everything at the beginning. I did it too. I was there, but I had a partner at the time, Dennis. So we kind of like share the load. But man, locking them all up and selling them all, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I love it because some guys will come to us sometimes like, man, I got all these contracts. And I'm like we had a girl. She's going to come on the podcast as well. She came in and she's like, Ricardo, I'm just tired. And I was like, why? So I did a lot of deals last year, but I did everything. And I said, how come you haven't grown a team? Well, I just don't know how to scale. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. Why don't you JV with us? And I will tell you right now that you will do double the amount of properties if you JV with us as opposed to you doing by yourself. And you'll probably make a lot more money with us than you do on your own because we can get more money from the sellers, from the buyers, while you're still, because her whole focus now is locking up deals. All she's got to do is lock up deals. That's it.
Yeah.
Put money in marketing, get the phone to ring, or whatever, PPC, whatever she's doing. And once she gets a deal on the contract, turns around, sends it to us. By the way, jvtdo.com. That's our website, guys. If you want to submit a deal, partner up with us. Write it down. I haven't released that website, but now you know. So, and dude, we literally get every week, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe sometimes. Last week we got 12 old JVs from guys that are in the same boat that are like, and they don't want to grow. That's the thing, because not everybody wants to grow.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. But you can make a hell of a living by wholesaling like the way you are right now.
Yeah.
What's been your biggest month?
Nothing crazy. I think just under 40 grand a month.
Dude, how old are you?
26.
I wish I would have made that much money when I was 26 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. You're being humble about it. Under 40 grand is not a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Because
a few years ago, I would have thought it was
impossible.
Yeah.
If I told you a few years ago that I made $30,000, you'll do the Wolf of Wall Street thing. You know, like, I'll fucking quit my job right now, dude, if you show me the check, right? But now you're in a world that, you know, there's the possibilities are like, you can make what? $1 million, $2 million? You can make 100? That's crazy, right?
100 grand a month,
Yeah. On a regular basis.
Yeah.
How can your life change like that, right? So you're being humble about it by saying it's not crazy, but dude, 40 grand a month, it's good money. You can afford whatever lifestyle you want. You can drive whatever car you want. You could be driving a Lambo. You could be the guy literally driving a Lambo, getting checks and anyways, look, what's next for you, man? Now that we know that you make 40 grand a month on average.
Not on average. Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah. So I want to scale more. I have more funds now to scale, so I think it's just scaling at the right speed. A lot of the times, too, when I would go broke before, I would just try to hire a cold caller or do this RVM and just think that money would just come and it would make me go broke just quicker. So scaling properly, I think, is what I want to do. So slowly increase the ad spend. Yeah, slowly increase the ad spend. Make sure that I'm capable to handle the leads and to not neglect them. So as of now, like my leads, I'm admitting my leads, a lot of them are getting neglected because I'm so busy with dispositions and TC. And,
you just got a JV with us.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
Bingo. I just got some contracts, guys. No, look, it's easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now. So let's start coaching right now.
Okay.
First thing you got to do is build a VTO, a Vision Traction Organizer. You're going to put all your systems in place. If you don't have any systems, then you're going to come up with systems and you're going to put them in there, right? And I can tell you offline how to do that. And then you need 2 VAs right now
Yeah.
answering the leads.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do. Even if they're not doing anything for hours a day, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because you know now that your lead is going to be answered in less than 5 minutes, which is a problem I had, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I text, and what happened is I got comfortable with texting, and because texting is more of a nurturing thing, when a lead came up, we didn't get on it right away. Because we knew we could wait. It's a text message.
Yeah.
But PPC is not like that.
No.
So if you said you have funds and all that, hire 2 VAs and train them to do the initial qualification of the seller.
Yeah.
How much do you want? Why are you selling? Blah, 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 blah. Now they give you a lead that's pre-qualified, right? Now you're calling to get on numbers. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Hey, my name is Luke. I'm the owner of 123 Main Home Buyers or whatever. Maria told me that you want to sell. You want $290 for the property. You're selling because you're getting divorced. Blah, blah, blah. You establish, Maria probably established some report. Oh, she's so lovely. Because we hear all the time.
Yeah.
Angel, he's so good. And Mariana, she's so lovely. Guess what? I love it because now I know, okay, they did a hell of a job creating a report. Now all I got to do is facilitate the sale.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't even do it anymore. They do it. But they started doing that by qualifying the leads first. Then I said, hey, guys, why don't you guys go ahead and lock them up too? And they're like, we can do that. And I said, yes, you can. I empower you to do everything. I love it that way because now I'm like, they don't even need me anymore. They just need me for validation, right? But hiring those 2 people at the beginning will be key for you because you can focus on these point properties while your lead doesn't get neglected anymore.
Yeah.
And then you can come back and close the deals, right? And then ideally in 2 or 3 months, you upgrade these guys to your salespeople.
Yeah.
To closers.
Yeah.
Because you can. I
Yeah.
mean, you're a pretty smart guy and I can see your sales skills are good and you communicate well. But if you start empowering these people right away, man, your life is going to change like crazy.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, look, thank you so much for coming in, man. I gotta hop out here, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
We're chopping this one down, but this is gonna be a repeat because I want to see where Luke goes when he starts scaling his business. He's gonna be a prime example of what it is to be doing a couple of deals a month to multiple deals every month once he gets all his systems in place. But guys, don't forget to hit share, like, and subscribe. The Real Estate Entrepreneurs event taking place in June 24th, 25th. I'm going to leave out a website. It's going to be Attend Growth. I haven't locked up the venue yet, but I am working on it. And I'm looking forward to see you there. Thank you.
Boom.
All right. Thanks, man.